kitchen science. Today's experiment is all about density. And this is a very simple and quick little project that you can do with things that you should find around the kitchen in your home. So to begin with, let's talk about what equipment and supplies you're going to need to be able to do today's experiment. You're going to need food coloring, and we have a red, yellow, green, and blue. You'll need 6 cups, one for each of the colors that we're going to make. You'll need 6 plastic spoons, 6 straws. You'll need 3 cups of warm water. You're going to need sugar and a 1 teaspoon measurer. And then you also will need a small clear container for the end of our experiment. So go round up all of your supplies and let's get started. So to begin with, Benjamin, would you please help me? We're going to add half a cup of water to each one of our plastic cups. You want to make sure that you're adding the same amount of water to each cup. It'll be very important that we keep that consistent, because what we're doing is we're creating a sugar and water solution, and we're going to change the amount of sugar that we add to each of our cups. And with the more sugar that we add, then the more dense our sugar-water solution becomes. And that's also where the food coloring will fit in. The food coloring will help us to be able to see the difference between all of our different density waters. So once Benjamin has all of the cups filled with water, with 1/2 cup of water in each, then we're going to go ahead and add our food coloring. So the first cup will get 1 drop of red. The second cup is going to be our orange, so we need 1 drop of red and 1 drop of yellow to make our orange. Our third cup will be just yellow, so we'll add 1 drop of yellow. The fourth cup will be our green. We only need 1 drop of green. The fifth cup will be blue, so we need 1 drop of the blue. And then our last cup is going to be purple, so we need 1 blue. And we will need 1 drop of red. Now we're going to begin by adding our sugar. Now the red cup is going to have no sugar added to it at all. Our orange cup, we will add 1 teaspoon of sugar. And we wanted to use warm water so that it would help the sugar to be able to dissolve a little bit quicker into our water. And we won't have to wait quite as long stirring it up. You want to stir it until you don't feel the sugar in there anymore, and if you look, it should be perfectly clear. So now we're going to add 2 teaspoons to the yellow, and we will stir. Again, we want to stir until you can't hear the crunch of the sugar or feel it with your spoon. That way we know it is completely dissolved into the water. Now for the green, we need 3 teaspoons of sugar. And be careful that when you're measuring your sugar, you're measuring each teaspoon the same amount. You don't want to have too much one time and not enough the next time. We want to be as consistent as possible. And you'll notice the more sugar you add, the longer it will take to stir and have all of the sugar go into the water to make that sugar water solution. Now we're going to add 4 teaspoons. There's a lot of sugar in this water. All right, very good. Thank you, Ben. And we have, last but not least, our purple, to which we will add 5 teaspoons of sugar. All right, so now we have all of our sugar water solutions. No sugar, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, 4 teaspoons, and finally 5 teaspoons of sugar. This one's taking a little bit longer, but we're just about there. All right, so to look at these cups, they all look pretty much the same. You're not going to be able to see a difference. But here comes the fun part. You want to get a small, clear container. It doesn't have to be a bottle. It can be any small, clear container. And then we're going to use our straws to transfer the liquid from the cup into the bottle. Now this part you might want to ask an adult for help because you have to do it very slowly to try to get the layers to stack up on each other. Now because we put the most sugar in our purple, this one is the most dense. So we're going to begin by putting the purple one on the bottom of the bottle first. Just simply put your finger on the top of the straw to be able to hold some of the liquid inside of the straw. And then we can just transfer it into our bottle. We're going to do that about 15 times for each color so that we can get a pretty good layer for each one of those. All right, so when we start the next layer, it's going to be super important that we take our time in adding them in. So again, we're going to take a little bit of the blue water, and you want to put the straw right about the top of the purple layer and very slowly release your finger. So it should just very slowly begin to layer on top of the other one. But just wait and you'll see something really cool. So now that we've got a little bit of sunlight behind our jar, you can see that indeed we do have different layers based on density. At the bottom you can clearly see our purple layer, then we have a blue layer, a green layer, a yellow layer, an orange layer, and finally the red at the top. So I hope you had fun today with our science experiment on density. I hope you'll give this a try at home, and you can always leave a comment and let us know how it worked. So we'll see you next time.